and I have a 98 Toyota Supra. It's a quicksilver, pretty rare one, original 6-speed car. The car has a built motor by Accelerated Performance. They did a half fill block. It's on a stock crank, aluminum rods. I believe they're diamond pistons, R&R rods. Factory oiling system still on it. I had HUD Games build the head for me. It's a VVTi head with GSC S2 cams, Freya dual springs, aftermarket valves in it. We have a Sleeper Designs intake manifold with 12 injectors. I run ID 1050Xs as primaries and ID 1700s as secondaries, with a mechanical fuel pump system from Powerhouse Racing. E98 fuel at this current event at least. Sometimes I'll mix it up. It is a flex fuel car, so I can cruise it around at 93 if I wanted to and mix any blend in between. We have a Powerhouse Racing billet collector exhaust manifold, and the current turbo on the car is a Precision 8685. Last time we had on the dyno, it made like 1380. Probably making a little bit more today at this event with the cool air and probably a little bit more boost and illuminations. We have an ETS 6-inch intercooler, obviously a lot of custom charge piping and stuff like that. It's on the factory 6-speed transmission. It's actually a D161, so same transmission, slightly different gearing. They came in Supras overseas. We have a drive shaft shop, 9-inch rear diff kit, carbon fiber drive shaft, a couple suspension components, replaced adjustable lower control arms. We have IDS suspension all around it, so that stuff's working really well for me. So when I first bought the car, it had factory twins on it. It's pretty much stock. It just had a couple pretty things on it. So I put it on a standalone, put some injectors in it. I run an AM Infinity, and I was trying to max out the stock twins, so it made like over 500 horsepower in the factory twins. I put an OSGeiken triple disc clutch in it because I knew that's not where I was going to stop, so it was a standalone and a triple disc on stock twins is kind of an overkill, but I was planning ahead. I didn't want to buy a bunch of stuff more than once, and I still had that same clutch in there now. So I was running like 10 ones on stock twins. Then that got boring and they started smoking like I expected. So I put a single turbo on it, which was a GTX 45 from Garrett. Made like 1,034 on the stock motor still. Went on 941 on the stock motor, which from my understanding is, I think the fastest 6-speed Supra was the stock motor. From there, we did the built motor by Accelerated Performance and the head and everything. Majority of the work I do myself, so putting the motor in, assembling the head and the block together. I do all the tuning on the car. I tune for a living, so and it's nice to have national speed and be able to use that shop whenever I want and the dyno whenever I want. So I weighed the car before I came here, and it weighed 3,170 pounds without me in it, and about a half a tank of gas. So round 1 qualifying didn't start out too well. I was trying to be proactive, and I bought a bunch of spare sensors, things that would normally go bad a lot. So I replaced the wideband before I came here, and it turns out it was bad out of the box. So I botched the launch and then tried to finish off the run, and it just kept cutting out from the safeties that I put into the AM Infinity. The next qualifying run just blew the tires off and almost changed lanes in the middle of the run. But I got back into it and finished off with a 10.2 just to get some data and hopefully qualify. I did actually cancel one of the qualifying runs, so we should have had 5, got 4. The weather hasn't exactly been cooperating here. So then the third qualifying run really bogged hard, and I kind of aborted that pass, and before I could even pull off the track, it started raining, so they got delayed again. Now it's Sunday morning, and they gave us our last qualifying run. So I made a couple changes to the car, turned up the launch a little bit, did a good burnout, got lined up well, and managed to run a 861 at 175, I believe it was. That was a 135 60 foot. The 8th mile was a little slower. I think it still bogged a little bit. My best time with the car was at local drag strips, was an 849 at 170. And that was on the Garrett GTX 45.